Pelipper with almost no health, Registeel with almost no health versus this Nidoqueen.
Here comes the potential swap Earth Power. There's the swap, and he catches the Earth Power!
Sometimes you don't even know how do you win the game, right? You need your opponent sometimes to give you that win con and act to it. So how it got to that catch is
Welcome back for another amazing episode of the Third Shield Pokemon Go PvP podcast. Ladies and gentlemen, I have the one, the only, the number one Quatcher of the tournament from the last regionals from Frankfurt, Germany, Inadequance himself joining us on the stream. Did I say your name right?
No.
I tried. We were practicing and I still butchered it. Inadequance. Okay, I got it, but I'm gonna forget it, I guarantee you. But how are you today?
I'm feeling good, Daniel. Thank you for having me. I'm looking forward to share my thoughts on a lot of things.
Yeah, I really wanted to bring you on the podcast because you're obviously one of the greatest players that I look up to, and I usually try to tune into streams as much as I can, but I just have them on and I'm literally not saying anything. It's just on while I'm editing or doing stuff. And you are able to explain things in a way that lots of people cannot, and technical stuff. So I wanted to pick your brain a little bit about that later on. But before we even do that, I just want to bring up one thing, guys. If you haven't seen this, one more time, Inadequance. I said it right now. So, and I'm learning by the end of the stream, guys, or podcast, I will get it right. So you had a really, really amazing, and I call it Quatch. That's usually catch, it stands for in Pokemon Go, but I always call it Quatch. And you had an amazing one against Azure in Frankfurt. So were you like planning on that the whole time, that it leading up to it, that you know that it's your only win con? Because the match was technically already over, if you think, besides that catch. So I want to know, like, how were you thinking about it leading up to it?
It was difficult to say. The catch was really end game, right? When I led ABA week 2 the Scrafty, and Azure happened to lead that. I have a Shadow Sableye as well. Not having return really hurts his performance against Scrafty, so at some point I swapped to my Pelipper against the Scrafty. He brought in Cresselia, and I got 2 shields down, barely not being able to take out this Cresselia. At that point, sometimes you don't even know how do you win the game, right? You need your opponent sometimes to give you that win con and act to it. So how it got to that catch is it basically just came down playing down to it, counting his moves, right? I had to throw my foul play on a 1 HP Scrafty, then he 2-shielded Nidoqueen, which was a pretty good strategy by him, I think. But then it came down to that, hoping that maybe he would CMP on my Sableye, then he would waste some energy, right? And in the end, when I try to catch a move, I don't only count opponents' moves, I also try to notice the things they do. So what I noticed about Azure was he threw his first Earth Power exactly when I got to my Focus Blast, which gave me the idea he's counting my moves as well. And that's basically how I tried to catch his move. I didn't count his moves anymore. I was just assuming he was gonna throw one turn before I got to my my Focus Blast, and that's I guess how it happened.
Pelipper with almost no health, Registeel with almost no health versus this Nidoqueen.
Here comes the potential swap Earth Power. There's the swap, and he catches the Earth Power!
Now the Focus Blast is gonna be able to take out the Shadow Nidoqueen and take this game!
Oh my goodness, who needs coffee when you have battles like these? Inadequance takes it when all hope was lost. What an amazing swap there to catch the Earth Power.
At home, everybody jumped off and out of their seat, including myself. I wanted to know that what was the experience like in person when that actually happened? Just so paint the picture for the people, you know what I mean?
Yeah, so first of all, for me, I felt kind of pressured. I had some sort of stage fright. Not to be on stage, but I feel like people have high expectations of me, and I feel like it's easy to disappoint in Pokemon Go because sometimes luck strikes or no luck strikes and you just lose pretty hard, right? If you've seen Toe's battle, he just got hard counted and it's just over like that. But yeah, when I got that move, first of all, the first feeling you get, relief that actually worked, right? Because you're playing against high level players. If you know them, like if you know if you can notice the cheeky things they might do, like waiting before they see a false move come through or they count your moves, it really helps in those kind of things to make those plays. And yeah, when you get there, that's nice. I heard the crowd. We had those headsets on, and you hear like white noise, pretty loud white noise, so you don't hear the commentary, right? Because we were on a stage and there was the TV and there were the shoutcasters. You could just hear those everywhere on the venue. So but I heard the people through that white noise, so that's why I waved when I got the move. I heard them clapping, so that felt pretty good. I felt like people were pretty amazed by that, and not only the people who were sitting there, but like you say, also the people who are watching from home.
Yeah, it was an awesome moment, and those are the things that probably in Sword and Shield you don't see as much because it's turn by turn, you know. So it's different, and in Pokemon Go, it's just a different experience. That's why I was thinking also that it picked up pretty good as far as the viewership, and they put it on main stage, and now we are back again in Indianapolis, which I'm pretty excited about. And with streaming, I don't know if our original planning was streaming, but it's not even like the international regional like it was in Frankfurt. This is just like a small one, and it's still streaming, so I'm very excited for that. How did you feel about leading into it? So when you guys did you go with Toe Tactical together? Did you guys travel together?
Yeah, we went. I went with Toe and with Howie. I traveled there.
So when you guys were going in, I already asked Toe this question. He said his expectations were low as far as like what to expect, not because of the game or anything like that. His expectation was compared to what he experienced in Sealp. What to see, like you guys originally battled at like train stations and that kind of stuff back in the day, like back in the day. So what was it? What were you thinking or expecting when you guys were leading up to this I guess tournament?
Well, first of all, I didn't do Sylph before GBLs, and GBL basically came out like a month before COVID, so I never really got to real life tournaments. This was basically my first. I had low expectations as well, basically because the state of the game wasn't great. But yeah, once I got there, like as the event was going, I just felt more excitement. The further everyone advances, like you see your friends play on stage there, and you see 2K people watching on the Pokemon Go Twitch channel. That was pretty hype. But as far as expectations go, I tried not to expect too much because I know that I'll be very frustrated if I lose because of a game inconsistency, and that they're around, unfortunately, at the moment.
And as far as since we talked about that, so I wanted to bring up so many things. Now I have so many questions, but we'll go one by one. So as far as at the tournament when you were and what you saw and experienced, you definitely walked away with a positive experience, it sounds like, right?
Yeah, so it was really fun. The thing is, like, half of the people I met there, I already kind of knew them, not also from previous experiences like Discords and stuff, but it's also just really nice to meet new people like Pokesquark and Aries. I didn't know them at all. They were like a bit around, some on Sylph and some lurk in streams, and then you battle them and they clap you and you compliment each other, because unlike in some remote tournaments, everyone is respectful, and you kind of have to be, right? You have to show sportsmanship, because if you don't, no one's gonna like you. So yeah, I definitely had a positive experience, and that's also the reason why I want to do another one.
And which one is the one that you're planning on going? The next one? Do you have a
Lille.
plan?
I'm going to Lille, which is in 2 weeks, I believe. The weekend
awesome.
of
Okay.
21st May.
Oh, that's awesome. Can't wait for that. And And yeah, even if I believe you can go to all of them technically, right? You just have to register and go. And for the people who are listening, did they remove the Legion requirements or something? Because they were advertising that or something. And so many people asked me, do you have to be Legend or not? And at that point, when it was live, I didn't really know the answer to it.
You don't need to be Legend, but Legend is for early registration. So there were 200 places available in the EU international championships, and we had 100 people registered. So you saw a couple people who were pretty new to the game, or some of them wanted to play VGC or just spectate there and couldn't get a ticket, so they brought like stuff like a Mr. Mime. You've seen that a bit around. But no, you don't need to be Legend at all. The person who hit Legend, who won the tournament, also said himself that he never hit Legend in GBL before.
That's a good point that you explain it this way, because, and guys, I know it might sound like, oh, that's fine, so we're good because we don't have to worry about it, but here's the thing. We are technically at the lowest point of Pokemon Go Battle League, and because of the interlude season, so many people stopped streaming it, and honestly, I mean, it is kind of boring without the competition. And the game's state that so many people left because of that originally, and you know, it's just stalled. Let's just call it that for now. But and I guarantee you, and COVID on top of that, so of course lots of people didn't go, and I think the rules for COVID as far as what you need to do also changed when I last looked it up. So there were different things, and so it was turned up by lots of people. So the reason I bring this up, because I think you should try to hit Legend just because to register, because when we go into the US and the other regions and it's international and it gets hyped up like it was on the last stream, I think the registration is gonna be locked out and it's gonna be sold out. What do you think?
I think this first tournament definitely hyped up and kind of gave hope for what competitive Pokemon Go PvP could be like. So in the future, perhaps, I think we still have a long way to go. So for this, I don't know how many times Play Pokemon organize this, maybe just every like spring/summer. But for, you know, I think GBL is good practice anyway, to get this far, right? To advance in these tournaments, because even if you didn't hit Legend before, you're gonna play against tough opponents. So any like Silver experience helps as well. Of course, it shows 6 Big 3, but I think any experience for these kind of tournaments is just helpful.
Yeah, that's a real good point. And as far as like the state of the game right now, so we know that where we are, we see some updates coming out. Some made it worse, made it better. I feel like than when it came out. Some changes did happen. For example, I haven't seen the actual third shield bug in my experience, but now I'm seeing a new one, which is basically when it lags during the move, the bubbles are not being counted for what you did, so you just do minimal damage. I feel like that's the new the modified third shield damage. So hopefully in the next update they're rolling out, I think this week, they might eliminate it completely or by the tournament. But how do you feel about the game right now? And like if you have like a scale like this is even, or this is where we need to be or something, or let's say this is where we are and this is where we need to be, where would you put your hand that where we are right now?
This is where we need to be. I think we're like very, very, very low.
Yeah.
There are days GBL or battles work okay-ish. There's slight inconsistencies, which we shouldn't, but I even consider as just okay right now. Like if I get denied my fast moves, but I'm not lagging anywhere else, I'm not even too mad about it. But I should be, because my opponent gets an unfair advantage, and the opposite, of course, right? If it happens to my opponents, because I'm aware I'm usually the one sneaking. But yeah, I feel like with every fix there comes new bugs, and I don't know how Niantic is going to fix it. I hope the interlude season that they can fix a lot in there, and I do have the feeling that they are trying a lot in the background, because sometimes there's some tweaks in the mechanics, right? Like right now, as you say, the third shield just counts as no bubbles. The under tap is basically gone, because now if you get your fast move through, your energy pops up immediately. You don't have to under tap anymore. Yeah, there's just a long way to go for actual competitive play. Yeah, it's hard to say because some of these battles also come down to luck. But for completely even matches, yeah, it's a long way to go.
What is your expectations for the next season?
Hopefully move updates. There's a couple Pokemons that are very strong right now, like Walreign's hard to keep in check. Registeel is hard to keep in check. In my opinion is some of these moves should not have been given or been buffed like that. So hopefully that I hope Niantic introduce like either Pokemons or new move updates that rebalance the meta again. I think that's just fun, even if that makes one or two Pokemons a bit overpowered. And yeah, as far as state of game go, my expectations are not high. I'll just say that. Like I don't think they're not trying. I think they are trying. I just don't think they know exactly how to fix everything. So as far as the interlude season goes, yeah, I'm just looking forward to everything being a bit more competitive. And even if not, like people have content to make as well, right? As content creators and as people want to try to hit legend or become better in any way, to watch content as well.
Yeah, true for sure. And as far as like what I realized that Niantic wasn't promoting, you know, the Frankfurt tournament, they didn't share it in game. They didn't share it on their blog. They didn't put it on the Twitter or anything like that. So as long as they do like a big show for London and they actually promote it, we could expect some really high numbers because we accomplished pretty good numbers without any of that mentioned. So as far as for the future, without not thinking about like the current problems, let's say they fix it. Let's just be positive right now. Let's say it's all fixed. What do you think and how excited you get of the thought of just what it could become as far as like this esports game?
Very hyped. I mean, I'm going to basically all these events that are coming right now in Europe. Like I'm going to Seville, to Lille, to Berlin, and even going to Seattle. Even if it's not PvP, right? I just like events, whether they're from Niantic or play Pokemon. The only feeling that I don't really like is that play Pokemon in Frankfurt didn't promote anything of Niantic, and Niantic is not really promoting anything of play Pokemon. So let's say you're having a break of Pokemon Go right now in the interlude season. You may have not even noticed that there was an international championship going on. So maybe we missed like half or more of what could have been a lot of spectators. And I think that's kind of a waste of potential there. But yeah, let's say we're back to being competitive. I believe Worlds will be when we have a normal season again. So maybe it will draw some people back, hopefully. Yeah, I mean, I'm excited. I had a really positive experience with the championship, and it gave me it tastes like more.
Yeah, I'm very excited too, and what I saw in the scene, and to add to what you just said about the interlude season and people didn't know, I can tell you that most people didn't know. And the reason I'm saying this is because I do my raid hours on Wednesdays, and it's a pretty big group. We get to about 50 to 100 people show up every single Wednesday where I'm doing it here. Yeah, it's big. It's lots of people. We all the way till like even in Florida, we had the park rangers come up to us saying that we need to 6 feet separation, even though we're outside. But anyways, so it's a big group. But the reason I'm bringing this up because nobody of the group knew about the Frankfurt freaking regionals. That's 100 more viewers, potentially even more because they're friends and you know all that. To watch that we just missed out on. And this is just one city. This is Tampa, Florida, not even big like New York or anything like that. And I did like a highlight video of you, Toe, and all your battles, and I shared it in the groups.
Saw it.
Yeah, but I shared it in the groups of New York, of Tampa, of Miami, and all these groups. And the most common comment was, wait, there's a tournament for Pokemon Go? That was the most common comment. So if the team, imagine if it was an in-game promotion, or a blog post, we would have a success.
Yeah, so that's kind of where Niantic and Play Pokemon are missing out on each other. I think like Play Pokemon is for sure going for the PvP side of everything. Like Twitch streamers are getting invited to Shoutcast, right? I think that's people from our from the PvP community are actually getting asked, and Niantic does like, I feel like it's more the YouTube, the big YouTube who shiny hunts and stuff. That they're gathering those people, because like one of the events in Seville I noticed and in Berlin is you can get autographs from those content creators. I don't know them at all, right? It's completely different. It's like two different worlds. So they're really missing out on each other, I feel like.
Yeah, I saw that. I since you mentioned that, and they posted it. It was in I think it's Seville, and I think they posted the other one too. But yeah, I saw that when they posted all the YouTubers, and I was like, who the hell are these people?
Yeah,
I didn't
exactly.
even, I had no idea. You know what I mean? And I was like, man, they actually have a battle section, as what I saw online. So there's an area where you can do battles at the Seville, and I believe in Berlin as well, right?
There's like a playground or something, but I don't think it's like a big event or something.
Mm-hmm.
I think
well,
like
that's the problem.
yeah, exactly. That's unfortunate.
Yep.
Maybe they have something in store, I don't know. But like I think 3 years ago in Dortmund we also had something like that, and it just wasn't really big. Like the bigger event was hosted by the community afterwards in a hotel, and not at the Go Fest itself. So that kind of speaks for itself as well.
Yeah, exactly, and I love those events. I mean, I love the community. I really honestly love this community. I have never been in a better community before, and I really enjoy it here, and I'm pretty sure you are the same. And as far as like your future and Go Battle League is what I was thinking, or Pokemon Go, I guess I should call it. Where you're heading and what are you thinking for competition, coaching, to shoutcasting, to what are your thoughts?
I don't know. Like in December, I retired for a month, so I'm also not always very positive with how the game works. But lately, I've been trying to commit more to content creating, even though it's difficult to be creative right now. But yeah, like I'm trying to set up my own tournaments to give some more competitive play to the game and to the community. I definitely try to be involved with things like events and shoutcasting, and big tournaments. I see myself more as a player rather than someone who's just behind the scenes doing stuff or shoutcasting. So I think that's mostly the direction I'll be going, still trying to be the best there ever was.
That's a good one. That's a good answer right there. And do you think, since you said that, do you think that, well, I mean, the future is pretty bright. If this is going on each year and becomes a real esports, and already a prize pool is pretty decent. So imagine if it gets bigger because more attention, more sponsors, and actual real esports teams start showing up. Is that something you would pursue to become a part of an esports?
Well, the way like League of Legends do it, they have like teams, I think, right? Like esports teams.
Yep.
I don't know how it's gonna look like here. Right now we have like Mazer and what's it called? Not Nexus, the ones hosting Nexus. I can't think of their name real quick, but anyway, we have factions.
I know what you're talking about, but I'm pretty bad with names, so yeah.
Yeah, they're from Nexus League. I can't think of the name real quick. Anyway, so yeah, we have factions as well. Those are teams. I'm not sure if we're gonna see it like that. It's gonna take a couple years if we go like that format. Team formats are my favorite, to be honest. But I think for now, especially since Play Pokemon only organizes Open Great League, as far as I know, they're not gonna do like restricted metas. Maybe Niantic might someday. I think that's still pretty far off. We're gonna have to do it with what we have right now, and I think Open Great League is a good point to start.
Yeah, I mean, even if if the game is fixed, because I'm pretty sure Niantic doesn't think about these things until the game is fixed. But like having a big name person, who hosting an extra tournament in their name, like Ninja did it in Fortnite and many others did it in different games, would give a huge boost. But of course, if it backfires because of the issues that we have with the game, that would be a big problem. And maybe that's why I don't do it, especially there's a big prize, like $100,000 for a winner or stuff like that. That would be a big problem if you lose because of all the issues that we have. And that would also equal to lawsuits, eventually to Niantic and other things, guaranteed, So So I understand why and where we are right now, and you as well keep saying that we are far away from that.
Yeah, it's difficult to say, and yeah, like I also feel like Niantic just doesn't make a lot of money off PvP right now, so maybe that's also why I feel like it's not it hasn't been prioritized for a very long time. So yeah, it's a bit difficult to say. For now, I think that these tournaments right now are the best thing to look out for.
And it's crazy, honestly, because if you think about it, I mean, yes, it needs lots of work, lots of investment, lots of time, and eyeballs, and it will make tons of money. And I think it will make more money than the PvE side eventually, especially, and this might be not ethical for them, or they might never go for it, but other sites will probably do it. It's the betting, esports betting. And honestly, I would do it. If I would see you on the stage, if I would see King on the stage, Toe, and all the people that I actually follow and like, I would be betting, dude. I would be betting all day.
I think that'd be awesome, honestly. That'd be a great idea.
Yeah. And it's so easy. And so, I mean, not easy, so quick, I should say, because the matches are under 5 minutes. So you're like, all right, they are up. I'm going to go bet right now.
Yeah, exactly. I think that might also be the main attraction compared to like VGC, right? Pokemon Go is more fast-paced. I think that's something that really attracts most people who like PvP as well to it.
Yeah, for sure. And then one thing is, by the way, I just want to bring this up. The 2 examples. Pokemon Snap, Legend of Arceus. 2 games that died the quickest with the biggest hype when it launched. And the reason I'm saying this, and the biggest connection with that is it's PvE and there is no PvP in it, no player versus player. And as small as it is in Pokemon Go, it's still the thing that will not let a game die, including even in MMORPG games. If there's PvP in it, then the game could never die. And then the same goes on back into Pokemon Go and Sword and Shield. Sword and Shield is still, how old is that game now? And that's the same, still the main series PvP. So it's similar. That's how I feel like that.
I think also the difference in like Pokemon Go and Legends Arceus, don't get me wrong, I was a huge fan of it, but the thing that keeps you going in Pokemon Go is that the grind just never stops. There's always new things to make, new things to build, new people to beat, new tournaments to win, new events coming up. So where Legends Arceus or any original game like that, you just complete the game and maybe you make a few Pokemon's level 100s and then you're just maybe done, you know, you're just done with the game. While Pokemon Go can just keep going because there's always something to do.
So since we're talking about new people and keep going, let's say it's a hit. We have now thousands of or tens of thousands of viewers. Let's call it that. So it's actually a hit. And Pokemon Go is happening. There's esports, there's pro players, and all that fun stuff. And now let's say you're streaming it. You have tons of players coming in because we're in the first place of Twitch, whatever. It doesn't matter. Point is, new people seeing it, and they never play Pokemon Go, but they're like, oh, this is legit. I want to jump into this. What do you think? How is that gonna work out if somebody want to jump into this and start battling you, and they don't even have an account? Or do you think that's gonna turn off people? Or do you think that they might be like, all right, well, I'm gonna have to go grind for a couple of months before I get to your level? Or what do you think?
It really depends on how you are as a player. If you're willing to put some effort in it before you can actually start, because that's what it is right now. You can't have like, how do I say it? Like beta Pokemon you can just try out for a bit for free or something, you know. We don't have that right now. I played FIFA before and you can just use like lone players, you know. You don't have lone Pokemons here, so you can't just start right away. You need to put in some effort, and yeah, it just really depends how much effort you want to put in there. It's definitely not easy to start, basically because Niantic implemented things like legacy moves and community day moves, things you can't really obtain easily. They do introduce some events to bring those back, so I guess that's nice. But for new players, it's difficult to come in, and then I'm not even talking yet about mechanics, right? If you don't feel the mechanics, that's also very, very difficult to come in. I think because if you know the mechanics, it's just easier to understand how the game is gonna go.
Yeah, and if you're coming from like Sword and Shield or other main series games, it's entirely different.
Yeah.
And at least the typings are the only things that I guess on your side if you're coming from another Pokemon game. But
that really helps, yeah.
Yeah, it really helps. But as far as like it's a new player, so jumps in, what would you recommend to them? Like, let's say they now have enough, they let's say level 40. They don't have XLs yet or whatever, but now they have enough Stardust, to start building things, but they never battled before. Like, what would you tell them to basically get started on?
So basically how I got into it was just getting a feeling with it with just rockets. Just understanding a bit how a battle goes. If you already understand, like my mom plays Pokemon Go as well, and when she does a rocket, she just throws the charge move into the Pokemon, even if it has 1 HP, right? If you understand that you don't have to throw that move at all, you can just farm it down and throw your move into the next Pokemon. That's already a thing, right? And those are just small things you can pick up from that. Other than that, I think GBL is just really good for practicing as well. What I used to do was every time I don't know a Pokemon, I go to either GamePress or PvPoke and look up what their moveset is. How does my matchup look like? Can I flip it somehow? Can I win that? Maybe if I bait a couple times, and how much does this move do? I think that's mostly key to it. If you look up a matchup afterwards, I still do it sometimes. I still am wondering if I swap in Trevenant and they answer Walrein, how many Shadow Claws advantage do I need to win that? Those are just small things you can look up, even if you have a feeling about it. The theory always helps there.
What do you count? Because I met so many people, and I explain what I mean, because I met so many people who are counting turns, or they are counting they know that let's say Cross Chop is 4 or 5 turns, and then they know, or they count that it's 35 energy, or whatever. Like, do you count the turns, the moves, the numbers, and then you subtract, like, let's say they throw one, now it's negative 35, and that kind of stuff, or how do you actually count?
I do both, actually. Knowing the counts for charge moves is a rule of thumb, right? So Earthquake, the first Earthquake from Walrein is 9 power snows, the second one is 8. Those are rules of thumb that I know. But let's say a Walrein goes to 100 energy. I know they did 12 power snows, no, 13 power snows. So they're at 100 energy basically, and they throw an Earthquake. Then I'm counting from 35 energy. So with every power snow, I count 43, 51, 59. Only then is when I'm actually doing the maths. But usually the rule of thumb is just fine.
That's a really good point, though, because especially if you're facing a new Pokemon, because you know what fast move they have, and then you just count that, so you know how much energy they have. And let's say if it's just saying a random thing, that new Pokemon is like a version of Mew, so it has like 15 movesets, then you are at a loss if you're trying to do that. So, but if they throw something like a Flame Charge, then now you know, all right, this is where we are.
Yeah.
But anyways, so that's a good point. And then did you start with that? Like, you went for the numbers, or you went for the moves or turns first? Like, how did you start learning it?
Kind of both. If you check on PvPoke, you can see how much energy one fast move gives. So that's how, this is also how you know, right? If you then know that Flame Charge is 50 energy and you see an Incinerate is 20, the math is pretty easy that way. If Poison Fang is 35, Poison Jab is 7 energy, the maths just add up. But I don't try to think about the maths too much. That just gives you a headache.
I asked Toe the same question as well, and Toe was like, well, I stopped counting lately just because, it would just piss me off because of the game. And I get surprised and I question myself if, it was my math was wrong or the game is wrong or what's going on here. And it could be really frustrating, honestly, especially if you're like a numbers guy. And then you're like, okay, we are at 45. How did that happen? You know what I mean? Like, that could be pretty annoying.
Yeah, exactly. No,
Yeah.
that's the, yeah, I have it regularly as well. It's sometimes difficult to trust the game. But yeah, sometimes trusting the game can be just your win con. So it's difficult and it can be frustrating. And sometimes, if it works, no one complains, right? So that's also maybe a side to it. But yeah, I would definitely say it doesn't work more frequently than it does.
Yeah, for sure. And then as far as with Pokemon Go and you and the community, you're being involved in so many things, and I see you stream now more often. When do you have like a schedule so people could find you on Twitch, or is it random?
It's very random. I always try to stream after 7 p.m. Central European summertime or 1 p.m. East Coast time in US, because basically I work from 9 to 5 my time. I'm usually always streaming after that, and I'm getting too old to stream in the night, so that's also I can't afford anymore. So basically it's around that time, and the days are just random. I don't always feel like streaming, especially after if a work day or something has been rough, or if I combine it with other things. Like if you work and then go to the gym, you make dinner, your day's almost over, right? But yeah, if I have something in mind, some content to make, like if I want to host like an Open Grey League tournament, I always try to announce those far ahead in advance.
Perfect. And then as far as you mainly wait, did you start posting to YouTube as well, or just Twitch?
I try YouTube. Yeah, I'm not great at it. I'm not great at video editing currently. Maybe I'll get better at it if I put more effort into that. But yeah, I do YouTube as well.
Okay, perfect. So we will link that in. So guys, if you're watching or listening, doesn't matter, it will be down below. So all the connections will be there. So you can just click it, please like it, sub, everything, and come by the stream, because if you're getting into PvP, you're gonna learn a lot from no, you have to say
Inadequance.
Say it one more time.
Inadequance.
Inadequance. And it's not like I don't know him, guys. So I've been saying his name. I've been saying Inadequance for over a year and a half at this point. I just want to stop butchering his name. So that's why I'm pausing. I'm not saying the name. So just to clear something out here. But now I feel stupid, because even on the stream, nobody corrected me, right? So on the stream when I'm streaming, I have said your name so many times, and everybody's like, yeah, he did so well, or he did this, or whatever. And I'm like, okay, so I must be saying it right. So in my mind, it's like registered perfectly fine. You know what I mean? But
yeah.
I obviously want to thank you for coming on the podcast. And before we wrap this up, I wanted to bring up one thing, is there anything else you want to share or want to bring up, or something you look forward to, or anything you want to share with the people who are listening, watching, whatsoever?
Ooh, that's difficult to say. First of all, I want to thank you for having me on here, and I hope I did well on my first podcast. I think we both have a similar vision of Pokemon Go and what it could be. I just hope that it's gonna be like that, and that'll be better and more fun for everyone, because I think if it is, the content creators are also going to create more content for everyone, right? And I'm looking forward to that. I feel like there's some enthusiasm in people rising. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
That's awesome, and I'm very happy that you're on the same page. But actually, I feel like almost everybody who is really into PvP are on the same page. I feel like the PvE fall out a little bit, but I understand why as well. But I mean, PvP, I will be harsh, but we have been like dragged through mud and all that kind of stuff, so we're so used to this.
For years, yeah.
We just want the game to perform a little bit better. That's all we want at this point.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, thank you so much. You did absolutely amazing on the podcast. I'm so happy I was able to pick your brain. And guys, don't forget to check him out. He knows a lot about the game, way more than I am. So if you watch me for learning, which I'm pretty sure you don't, but if you want to learn, you have to check him out. And it's absolutely amazing. And you guys have been actually streaming a lot together with To as well, right?
Yeah, we just did actually. Yeah, To's the one who kind of got me into streaming. He's a local of mine, so yeah, I know him pretty well.
Yeah, perfect. So if you guys already know To Tactical, you're gonna have to check out everything else, because you will know and see and learn new things. And again, thank you so much for being here, and guys, thank you so much for tuning in as well.